the warm-up laps for the Cooley Distributors Classic Sports Car Race. And these are the beautiful cars of the 50s and 60s, predominantly MGs, who will be contesting a handicap 10-lapper. There's the man who leads the championship, Mark White, not here today, unfortunately, due to business pressure. John McCrane is, Jonathan Taylor, virtually all the others are. And we notice, again, the Cassidy family, predominant in this class. Indeed, we'll have no less than 4 of the Cassidy family racing in this race in a minute or two. A lot of MGBs, MG midgets, and right at the back of Scratch, in other words, the man that has to make up the most time, will be a Sunbeam Tiger. Aoife Cassidy will be on pole position in her MGB. Alongside her, Pauline White in the little MG midget. Then Graham Randall, and there you can see the whole grid streaming through at the moment. And right at the back, as I say, we're going to get Jackie Cochran, who has no less than a lap and 60 seconds to make up on the slower cars, which will be equivalently handicapped. A little bit difficult to follow. We've got spotters galore here in the commentary tower. Brian Tutor will be alongside me, trying to unravel the mystery of this classic sports car race. But aren't they a beautiful sight?
Yes, a lot of them there in the 69s, and Aoife Cassidy on the front row in that beautiful 69 MGB, completely rebuilt. Wife of Edmund Cassidy, drives number 6. Aoife has been racing for 8 years now, always in the classic cars, right? She was second in the Phoenix Park 2 weeks ago, so she's no mean pilot. And as Alan said, it's slightly confusing because it's handicaps, and what you will basically have will we have 4 separate starts. The first 4 cars will leave the grid, and then with a 5-second penalty, we'll call it, the next lot will leave, and then we will have a gap again of 13 seconds. There will be a certain amount of cars, then 50 seconds Morris Cassidy will leave, but as they leave we will let you know. So there will be a battle, 4 or 5 battles, and the whole idea of the handicap is that at the end of the 10 laps all of the cars should be together. Stuart Ferguson, on the grid there, grid marshal. It is a flag start, and away go the first 4. The next lot, that was Aoife Cassidy, Paul, a 5 seconds gap for them, and we're still counting at a 13-second gap. The next lot will go, flag being dropped for those 2 goes, and then it'll be Morris Cassidy on his own, and then the big guns, Morris Cassidy in the V8 MGB, and right on the back row of the grid, the big V8 of Jackie Cochran, the scratch man, and he will have it all to do. This is the start, the blue, two-tone blue V8 there of Morris Cassidy, the only V8 MGB racing here in Ireland, and you can see what the handicapper has done. He's holding these all of 60 seconds, a 60-second gap, but out the front you can see that it's the little midget of Pauline White. There's the scratch, second last scratch man, and we still have to wait for the actual scratch one, but you can hear that V8 motor as it screams, and there we go. The scratch man is that black one on the inside, the V8. The 2 gentlemen on his outside there, which was Tom Taylor and Tony Finn, they have a lap on this man, so he's got to catch them and lap them to win it. But up front, it's Pauline White in the little midget. Number 60 there, Tony Finn. He was on the last bunch, but here is the mid-class battle. This is the battle that would let off at 13 seconds, let us say. So you've seen them leave the grids in the different positions. Somebody in trouble there already, Graham Randall, who started in the first bunch on the front row of the grid, going slowly there down the main straight. But this is the battle for the lead at the moment. This is on the road. This is the group that are leading, and these 3 really going well. Pauline White being followed there by number 1, Aoife Cassidy, the 2 ladies out front. Aoife married to the Cassidys, and Dominic Peel, believe it or not, is her brother. So there's Cassidys, there's brother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, as they make their way down to the S's. Little 1275 MG midget getting the tail out there. The bigger, bulkier 2-litre car of Aoife Cassidy, the 1996cc MGB. It's the 1969 car, as I've said. All these cars pre-December 1973. That is the rules, that it's going to be pre-December 1973. This is the battle once again down through the second lot on our handicap. They have got to catch the ladies up front. They had a 13-second penalty on them, but are obviously the classic car people working out these handicaps, and so far it has worked very well for them over the season.
Dennis Howard was in amongst that MGB battle as they went across the line there, and I think he's just been taken at the moment by number 6 Edmund Cassidy, who competed in the Pirelli Classic last year, probably having a go at it again this year. Some soft tops, some hard tops, as you can see. Used to own one of these motor cars. Not that easy to drive in competition. Very heavy steering indeed, so you really will have sore wrists at the end of 10 laps with this one. So number 8, in fact, it is. 6 Edmund Cassidy. Going through number 14 was Dennis Howard, who works for Woodchester Finance in his 4th season of racing there, number 14. That's a very beautiful maroon machine.
Yes, Cassidy there, the red and white. It's a 1965 Roadster with a hardtop. He's been racing and rallying. That's Aoife Cassidy. I do believe the two ladies possibly just in the background there. I think the two ladies have touched, so that jumps Edmund Cassidy up 2 places, but saying a 1965 Roadster, followed there by number 14, the same car. But Edmund has taken part in the Monte Carlo Rally, he's taken part in the Monte Carlo Challenge and the Pirelli Marathon, which was a run for the older cars. Number 14 there coming through. That is Dennis Howard in another MGB, but at the moment, number 6, Cassidy, getting it all together there. Little midgets on the outside. There again, 2 MGBs, one with the soft top on, one without it. A little bit of smoke there. Remember, these cars are all between 65 and 73.
Leader on the road will be 36, Pauline White, but then there are other people with laps to credit. We're looking at number 7 going through, Tom Farrell from Navan. Very experienced driver indeed. And there is the really hot machinery. Now we have the V8 MGB GT there, being shadowed now by number 28, Jackie Cochran from the north of Ireland in his Sunbeam Tiger. No less than 250 brake horsepower in that car, and he's been gobbling his way through the field. He's really like Paco Man here. He's got to get right through the field twice to win this race. Now, his main opposition here, Maurice Cassidy, again, a very experienced competitor and a very nice driver indeed. He competed in the Monte Carlo retrospective this year. Number 2, Maurice Cassidy then, and also has been racing for years, has been rallying now in the new historic stage rallying, will be rallying up in Donegal in a couple of years, a couple of weeks' time on the Shell Gemini Donegal International Rally. And there, right on his tail, we have Jackie Cochran. And this really is a powerful machine. And again, this car will also be competing in Donegal, competed on the Circuit of Ireland, so they really get a lot of value out of these historic cars.
Yes, the 2 big V8s and beautiful sounds off these V8s, and Cochran having a look at the inside, but Cassidy, who won the Phoenix Park Classic race 2 weeks ago, coming up to catch some of the smaller midgets.
And I think that is number 60 in his first ever race here this afternoon, Tony Finn in the Bootstrap, the man who works for Bootstrap, a complete novice, his first every race. And what an experience to have those 2 big growlers go past you.
Yes, all 16 cylinders, 8 apiece as they charge down. You can watch the front of the MGB as it really dips under braking. Cochran in the background with a very torquey V8 in that Tiger, but at the moment not making the impression I think he thought he would on. He's caught Maurice Cassidy, who had like a 10-second jump on him, but he's caught him, but now he can't do anything about it. And these 2 having a clear run in front and will be putting up the quickest times on the circuit. Remember, the handicappers, they have to lap a number of the other competitors, and they are still about a lap. Cochran again having a look at the inside of that corner, but going wide. Cassidy still holding it in the MGB V8.
And you're absolutely correct, Brian. Really, Jackie Cochran has got to do something about this very rapidly indeed, and he doesn't seem to have the brakes to do it. He's going down the inside at Aircell this time. Maurice Cassidy probably leaving a little bit more room because they are classic cars. They're worth a lot of money, and he's coming back at him. Tremendous stuff. Maurice Cassidy taking him back again, and there's quite a story with these pair because the car that Jackie Cochran is driving used to be owned and indeed was restored by Jackie. He's in that business. He then sold it to Maurice Cassidy, who sold it back to Jackie. So it was being, they're great friends, and obviously racing like gentlemen here this afternoon. And I get a feeling that there might be something just not 100% about the Sunbeam Tiger. But there he goes again.
And down the inside this time, and I think he makes no mistake, just caught Morris napping that time, but a superb manoeuvre by Morris and back around the outside. And as you say, a lot of expensive machinery out there working very close together. Now they're beginning to come up on some of the other handicap drivers. That's number 11 there.
Alan Tracy and Jackie Cochran getting a little bit out of shape there as he came past Alan Tracy. I'm sure Alan was a little bit worried about his paintwork there. He is a garage owner in Churchtown, and Morris still hanging on and really driving this machine. Number 40 now being lapped, and that's Tom Mullins in his midget. He had a 47-second start.
And they're on the 7th lap now with 3 laps to go. And I think Jackie being delayed there, not being delayed, just having to race his way by Morris Cassidy, would want to have been a lot further ahead. The battle there between the little 1275cc midget and the MGB, but the real guys are motoring on with that black, the big V8 Tiger. There he is. You can see the gap he's pulled out on the MGB V8 of Morris Cassidy. Very experienced driver of this type of sports car.
And we think the leader at the moment, in fact, in this handicap race, is number 17, Carmel Cassidy, in the only saloon in the race, the Cooper S, the Mini Cooper S. In second place is we're just looking down the straight, there she is, little 1275 Cooper S chugging along with a pretty considerable handicap there, number 17, Carmel Cassidy. In second place, it should be number 20, and that's Jonathan Taylor in his MGB GT. And in third place, number 6, that's Edmund Cassidy in his MGB. So there's the leader. Cassidy's, as always in classic car racing, to the fore. Carmel, who's the wife of Edmund Cassidy, just being lapped by her, brother-in-law at the moment, Morris Cassidy, and it's very smoky indeed. It's not looking a bit healthy. In fact, that is not number 17, Carmel Cassidy. Sorry, that's number 21. That's Paul O'Brien in his Clubman's version of the Cooper S. Yes. Number 2, Morris Cassidy
then. Morris losing ground now to Jackie Cochran. There it is. There's the little Mini Cooper. We do believe they're starting their last lap, number 17 there. At this moment, we're working out. That is, and then we have a change now. We have a new leader. It's Cassidy, number 6, has gone into the lead. And you may be confused, but it is handicap racing. And on that lap around the circuit, Cassidy got by. So Cassidy, number 6 there. Here he is. And who's that in the background? But Jackie Cochran. But I think Jackie has left. No, it's one of the MGB GTs, number 20 there.
And that, in fact, is the second place man, Jonathan Taylor. So it's pretty close between first and second. Edmund Cassidy and Jonathan Taylor battling out for this one.
That is the battle for first and second between the MGBs of Cassidy and Taylor, number 6 and number 20. One, the GT version, slightly heavier car, heavier in the back end because of all the metal, wants to sway around a little bit more, but you can see how Cassidy's car really sitting down. He's on the way up to Barham for the last time. We're looking to see, do we have a checkered flag man? We do not have a checkered flag man because of our handicap situation. He still has that lap to do, so Jackie Cochran is the only man who will do the full grid. So Jackie Cochran out there in the midst of the battle, you can see at the top of the hill there, and he has it all to do. He's made his way through the traffic, flashing the lights. But our leader still, number 6, Cassidy. And that's our scratch man in the V8 Tiger.
And Jackie Cochran was in third place at the end of that lap, so he really is the danger man. He really is a bit of a tall order. Edmund Cassidy in a tremendous hurry. Again, we mentioned earlier, he took part in the Pirelli Classic, that fabulous event that starts at London Bridge in a couple of weeks' time, goes right down through the continent and ends up in Cortina in Italy. He's now dropping second place man, but what a performance this has been by number 20 there, Jonathan Taylor, who's a complete novice. He's only taken part in the 2CV 24-hour race here at Mondello in the past. So, Edmund Cassidy looks very set for victory at the moment. Oh, and round goes second place man, Jonathan Taylor, spins it all away, no damage, thank goodness, but coming up in the background there was Scratchman Jockey Cochran, but it's going to be Edmund Cassidy who takes the checkered flag. An easy victory, and there Jackie Cochran coming right from the very back of the field through to second place, a tremendous drive, and in third place a novice who will remember this day for a very long time, Jonathan Taylor. And of course the theory of handicap racing is that everybody after 10 laps crosses the start-finish line at the same time. Didn't quite happen that way, and I wondered, even does Jackie Cochran realise the race is over? I think he's realised now, because he was going very hot and heavy, and indeed Maurice Cassidy probably spoiled his chance.